YouTube faithful and Nerd Nation. This is Lucius Prime coming at you with my second Transformers toy review. I know my first one wasn't exactly the best, but you know, it was just my first one, and this is my second one. So let's hope I'm doing a little bit better. Today I've got one that's actually quite special, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. So let's get this started, shall we? And what we have here happens to be Optimus Prime from the regrettable short series of Transformers Robots in Disguise. Not to be confused with the one from from the early 2010s. I believe that one came out in, let's see, I think it was about 3 years ago now, so 2016, 2017. This one came out in the early 2000s, if I recall correctly, about 2001. A little bit about the backstory for it. It was actually one of the earliest Transformers series that I could recall seeing whenever I was a kid. I remember seeing the trailers or the commercials for it on Fox Kids way back in the day, and I just started losing my mind because I can remember watching the old reruns of G1 back whenever I was a kid, and you know, I had always wanted to see a new Transformers series, especially because I was always a big fan of Beast Wars as well. Well, anyways, at first, whenever I first watched the series, I didn't care for it much because it involved the Autobots versus the Predacons. Not the Decepticons, and not to be confused with the Predacon combiner team on the Decepticons. I mean, straight up Predacons. As I watched it more and more, I actually started enjoying it more and more because I liked the story that they developed for it. I also found out quite a few more things, like one of my favorite characters from that, Scourge, who was improperly named, better known as Nemesis Prime, was actually on there. I'll be doing a review of Nemesis Prime probably for my third video. He was actually a repaint of the Generation 2 Laser Blast Optimus Prime, but I'll get more into that on his video. This one, however, in the Japanese version, the Japanese version of the series itself was actually Car Robots. He was known as Fire Convoy. Now, you're probably sitting here asking yourself now why he was a fire truck. Well, that's basically why. Well, anyways, this is actually a complete figure. I mean, it's in great condition. There's a little bit of wear and tear on it after I transform it. You could tell that this toy was well loved and well played with. Now, it's got quite a few little nifty features. Like, let's take a look right here. This piece right here. It's got this little button on top that flips out the water cannons for the ladder here. But if you actually take a closer look at it, and let me go ahead and reposition it too, just to give you a better idea. Looking at the design for it and everything, that's actually a cherry picker basket that's sitting on the tip of the ladder. So that's actually kind of cool. I just realized that earlier today myself. So yeah. I'm sure you see the little missile pods right here. That there's a little button back here that when you press it, it flips them forward and everything. Nifty little feature. But another little piece of interesting information, the Japanese figure had that as well, but when you press the button, they would flip forward and the missiles would shoot everywhere. That's only on the Japanese release. The American release, they would just flip forward and stay stationary, and you'd have to touch each individual little buttons to fire the missiles. Now, there's also another little thing about the Japanese that the American release didn't have. If you look right here, you see the Japanese symbol on the side of the cab itself. So this, in fact, is not just, you know, Optimus Prime. This is actually the Japanese release of the toy. I lost my mind when I found out about that. Also, you can see the nice little Cybertron decal right there. That was a nice little touch. So I'd prefer not to press the button to have the missiles go flying everywhere, because I'd rather not go searching for them right now. So I'm hoping that little bit of the Japanese lettering right there shows you. You can see right here that his water cannon, the gun that he'll later be holding when transformed, just sits right there. I mean, it's got the nice rubber wheels and everything. He rolls perfectly fine. I mean, honestly, you know, this is actually probably my favorite, well, yeah, I'd say my favorite Optimus Prime next to my, War for Cybertron Prime. Oh, that little piece right there came unclipped right there. All I gotta do is just squeeze that and it clicks right back into place. Oh, love this thing so much. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to go ahead and get this thing transformed so you guys can see it. Right? So, you know, just a quick little tutorial to transform him. Show you guys real quick. Just kind of lift that right here. These pieces right here are kind of pegged right into this little panel right here. So just, you know, give it a little bit of a lift. They actually are in there pretty snug. Right, now that that's done, and it's got some more pegs right up in between right here. Just give it a nice little pull. And there you go. The cab separates from the back of the rest of the fire truck. I'm not gonna transform this or do anything else with it because you guys saw what could be done with it in the intro for my video. I may use it to put on Optimus's battle mode, as it's referred to here later, though. But so we take the cab, and first we'll start off. I like to take the lights from the fire truck itself and just kind of fold them back like that, get them out of the way for the moment. First thing you want to do is you're going to flip these panels around, like so. In this little part right here, make sure you actually bring it all the way around and fold it like that. And do the same with this side. Then from there, go ahead and take him. Just kind of break him apart like this. I'll break him in half. And he unfolds like so. Got some nice ratchet joints right there, so very nice, very sturdy. I'll go ahead and start with the feet and separate these real quick and just turn these so that the tires are actually facing forward, like so. Then from the back, flip open these panels and the feet just flip right out. Make sure they click in place, and it's got these two little notches right here that if you actually look quite closely will clip right behind the platform where the foot is coming from. And I'll make sure he's nice and level here for a moment. Then, from here, just push the torso down. Oh, I skipped a part. Supposed to fold his arms forward first, like that. Then you can go ahead and push his torso down, which exposes his head. Then for the rest of his arms, just pull it down like that, turn it. And then there we have Fire Convoy, or Optimus Prime from Transformers Robots in Disguise. I mean, I want to note the head. I mean, again, he was a well-loved and played with toy. He's in great condition, just, you know, some minor chipping of the paint. Could kind of think of it as battle damage, but I mean, just look at how gorgeous his head sculpt is. One of the best Prime heads I've seen on any toys, and a lot of the reviews that I've watched and toys that I've had over the years. I mean, hell, I personally think it's a better head than what was on the G1. And despite how small his feet are, he's actually quite stable. Oh, forgot something. The way he was shown in the TV show, you take the lights and kind of put them up in kind of a V position like that, because those were actually one of his weapons in the TV show. He would fire lasers from them. if you wanted to. You could take the little water cannon off the back of the fire truck, and he'd actually be able to hold it in his hand, use that like a gun, like how it is. But we're not going to do that right now. But yeah, all in all, out of my collection, except for maybe my War for Cybertron figure, this is my favorite Optimus Prime. I notice how I emphasize Optimus Prime. My absolute favorite figure you'll see in a future video. So for now, I'm actually going to, well, you've already seen everything else in the intro video. There's not really much else I can do except for maybe transform him into his battle mode for a size comparison. I mean, he's not entirely a massive figure. He's probably about the average size of a leader class whenever he's in his battle mode and everything. You know what? Hold on one moment. Well, right here, I'm just going to give him a quick size comparison to my battle mode Armada Optimus Prime that was given to me by my best friend in the whole wide world, Blazer Yukin. Shoutouts. I mean, as this, you can see he's kind of a pretty big figure. So let me go ahead and get him in battle mode real quick and have them side by side so you can kind of really see. I mean, first of all, here's my hand. The size of my hand up against Armada Prime. So that should give you a good idea. So we'll be right back. And we are back now that I've got my Transformers Robots in Disguise Optimus Prime in his battle mode. As you can see, he is actually a bit bigger than he was in his normal mode. Not too much big. Not too much bigger. You know, quite comparable to Armada Optimus Prime. Well, a few other things about this Optimus Prime and the series he came out of. It was actually one of the first series in America, anyway, that while on TV, he was actually, not just him, but the Transformers in general were able to combine with each other. And I'm not talking about like the usual combiners like Devastator, Bruticus, Superion, any of them. I'm talking about, in Armada, they referred to it as Power Links. And this Optimus Prime was actually able to Power Links or combine with that version of Ultra Magnus, who happens to be Optimus Prime's brother in that series. But, I don't have Ultra Magnus. I hope to one day. But we'll see. But all in all, like I was saying, this is actually probably my favorite Optimus Prime now. At least next to War for Cybertron, which is like stands only maybe here on him, up to the wheel. Well, anyways, I definitely appreciate you all tuning in and watching my review of Transformers Robots in Disguise, or Car Robots Optimus Prime / Fire Convoy. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. So, until next time, till all are one.